A says, should churches pay taxes? Because we had that convo on Monday as far as churches being tax exempt and all that stuff.
The government is trying to make them pay taxes. Every year, something gets pushed on the congressional floor that churches should be taxed because they're hearing how much money some of these churches bring in on a regular basis.
Right.
And they're like,
they will.
Wait a minute. So eventually, I think you're right. I really do think you're right. Eventually, churches probably will, because churches don't have to report anything. They don't, put it like this, every nonprofit organization beside a church has to report how much money they bring in each year. The church is the only, talk to the federal government, right?
Right.
Right.
It's the only nonprofit entity that doesn't have to report that. Now, if they have employees, they have to report how much they paid the employees, right? But I'm just talking about as a whole.
Right.
Church doesn't have to report anything. And that's one thing Congress has been trying to stop.
He's salivating.
Now, that's just not just churches, right? That's just all religious facilities, right? Okay.
Let's go. TNC First Baptist Church.
Yo, I'm starting a church, yo.
Hey,
once
they tax weed, you know they coming for church.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now,
crypto too?
Now, Fred, why aren't the churches taxed? Is it because of the separation of church and state? Is it because we donate so much money? Like, why is that?
It's because it's all donations, right? Every nonprofit is like that. It's all donations. The only time a nonprofit organization has to pay income tax is if they're raising money for something that's not connected to their purpose. So I'll take it maybe 6-7 years ago. Network marketing started doing these big drives for nonprofit organizations, right? Because nonprofit organizations have a lot of people. So, and when the network marketing companies were saying, listen, you guys can get with us, and this could be a fundraiser for you, right? This be a fundraiser. And when they looked at it, it was like, no, that's a business. That's unrelated business income.
Right.
And you got to pay, even a nonprofit organization has to pay tax on unrelated business, because that's not a donation. People aren't willingly just giving money to support you. They're actually buying a service or buying a product. That's different. Engaged in business. So as long as the money is coming in from just donations, as of right now, it's completely tax-free. It's when you sell stuff for it, like, old school churches sold chicken dinners and stuff. That was all that stuff was illegal. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're selling something. It's not a fundraiser when you're selling something on a regular basis. Like, you're continuing to do business.
Right.
It's a business, so you get to pay tax.
So that's like churches, like the big mega churches that have like Starbucks inside their coffee shops and all that, bookstores and all that. They would have to pay taxes for that sort of thing.
Here's how a lot of them do that, though, right? The smart ones. Here's how they do that. You have the organization, a nonprofit organization, right? And then there's probably a for-profit organization that owns the Starbucks, even though the Starbucks is inside the church.
Yeah.
That's the right way to do it, because now what happens is that's the cleaner way of doing it. I'll say it like that, because now this Starbucks, being a for-profit organization, it pays its taxes, and then it can donate money to a corporation, or the LLC can donate money to the church. You see that a lot. It doesn't look like that, because when on the surface it looks like, oh man, the church got a Starbucks and they got a bookstore. Oh, they got merchandise over here. Well, if that's done, if it's set up correctly, some of that stuff is probably for-profit organizations that are working along with the church.
Right. Gotcha.
Or a daycare center or a school, because you see all of that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's all set up like that, but that's the cleaner way to do it.
Right.